Apple's next earnings call isn't just another quarterly update, it's a pivotal moment that could shape the company's future and investor confidence. Will Apple finally address its AI talent drain and offer a clear vision for the next generation of iPhones? Or will investors be left waiting for answers?
iPhones expected to launch in the last few weeks of the quarter. Guidance is going to reflect that big launch. So if that number comes in spicy, let's say high single-digit percentage revenue growth, you can look at it two ways. First, Apple may be increasing iPhone prices in part to mitigate tariffs, but also because the base model has been the same price since 2019. It could also be a signal Apple thinks it has a new hit coming, that so-called iPhone Air, the rumored super slim design for that next iPhone 17, and that tracks with historical bumps in iPhone sales. Forget about Apple Intelligence, which failed to spur the super cycle in iPhone sales the bulls predicted was going to happen last year. Instead, it's fresh designs that get folks excited to upgrade. You can see that in 2014 when Apple added bigger screens, or in 2020 when it added 5G along with a fresh new design, still in use today, by the way. So while Apple works on its mulligan getting Series AI update correct, pay attention to what's happening with iPhone hardware more than anything in the back half of the year, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, we say like this one is super important and all of that, and in some ways the bar is high, but in some ways the bar is very low, right? There's a lot of negativity around the name right now.
A ton, and some of that's out of Apple's control, namely tariffs. And by the way, they're reporting earnings the day before August 1, that new deadline. So, I mean, it's anyone's guess, including Tim Cook's, what August 1st is going to look like, what the tariff picture is going to look like. But I'll tell you on that last earnings call, Kelly, that's all analysts wanted to know. Beyond the June quarter, that $900 million hit Apple said to expect from tariffs, what does it look like in the September and December quarters? I don't think even they can accurately predict that far out, given how everything keeps moving back and forth.
Not just that, but the whole question of moving the supply chain to India,
right,
maybe to the U.S. I mean, these are decade-long issues to decide. This is not something that's they're really going to have a lot of clarity, and I wouldn't think quarter to quarter.
Exactly, and I will also just note, remember, there's those threatened tariffs in June that Trump said, if you don't build stuff here, by the end of June, smartphones are going to get tariffed. That never materialized. So you got to play the taco game a little bit too with what's going on with tariffs as well. So it's going to be confusing. Investors want clarity, and it's just we're going to see if Apple can provide anything else. But from what they're hearing on that tariff front,
should we expect at any point that they suddenly go on some kind of hiring spree or the acquisition?
That's going to be a huge question. Yeah, do we acquire away? I know our friend Jim Cramer loves to talk about buying Perplexity, or do they need to be spending enormous amounts of money on talent? They've lost some key players in their AI division to Meta in that poaching spree that Zuckerberg has gone on. Do they need to counter that? Do they need to go on their own poaching spree, so to speak? Or if they don't give any indication of that, maybe they're happy with the team they have in place and think they can finally execute the second time around with this big Siri update they say is going to come next year.
Right, or they're just being patient and waiting it out.
Yeah, see what happens.
Waiting for the next move. Steve, thanks.
Thanks.